Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey, everybody, how we doing today? Everybody doing fine on this fine Wednesday? Hopefully everybody is doing well, because we have got a good one for you today, everybody. Kinshasa said they got their book. Yay, got your book. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, just a little something about the book. Everyone, I need everyone to please do me a huge favor. When you're making your order for the book, please be sure to put your entire address in the shipping address. Okay? And the reason that I'm urging is because I'm starting to get return to senders back to me. Okay? And one or two is manageable. One or two is manageable. But what starts to happen is more than a couple of them becomes a bit costly, because I have to then pay for the reshipping and the creation of a completely new label. And it has to be like without a discount or whatever. I have to go straight through USPS in order to get a completely new tracking number and all of these sorts of things. So what ends up happening is, if I have to get too many return to senders because the shipping address was incomplete or it was some mistake made, I would have to go ahead and invoice you for the shipping again. I don't want to do that. Look, we can completely avoid that. We can completely avoid it. And I want to completely avoid it. So I'm just asking everyone to just make sure that your shipping information is correct when you are placing an order. And if you end up placing it anyway and the book hasn't been shipped, just contact us and we'll be able to change, edit your shipping information if we have to. I'd rather do that than have it return to sender, because what it does is it extends the time where you can't get your package and you can't get your book. So just wanted to make that little bit of an announcement concerning that. Okay. Because, return to sender is not fun. It's not a fun process, because I got to get it back. And it just takes longer for you to get your packages. And I don't want to do that. We want to keep it real smooth. Thank you, Barry Little, said tuition drop. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Barry, for your contribution and kicking it off for me. Very appreciative of that. So, I want to talk about the Michael Irvin situation. Malcolm says he once worked inside that system. Yeah, return to sender mail takes a long time. It does. It takes a very long time, because it go backwards through the system. And USPS, we already know. Kinshasa says, thank you. I needed this book in my life. Bravo. Thank you so much. So awesome sauce. That is awesome. Okay, I want to talk about the Michael Irvin situation. And I want to talk about, I'm going to read an article for those of you who don't know what's going on with Michael Irvin. Basically, he got some allegations of some form of harassment or sexual misconduct. And as a result of those allegations being leveled against him, without any proof, this is no proof or anything like that, he was pulled from his scheduled coverage of this year's Super Bowl. Okay, so he was slated to be covering the Super Bowl for 2023. And because of these allegations from this so-called unknown individual, the network actually pulled him from that job. Okay, and he basically was reprimanded by being pulled from that job. They even escorted him out of the hotel facility. And I'm going to read that article so you guys can really understand where I'm going with this and what we're doing. Dusty, thank you so much. Said that Kendra just pulled a big worm on us. Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions. I didn't want to come off like big worm. Thank you so much for the laugh, Dusty. Thank you, Miss Lou Casely. Thank you, sweetheart. The beautiful lioness. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen and read this article so that we all can get caught up to speed. And we're really going to talk about this. Okay. All right. So let me try to make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see. Hold on. Okay. Judge orders the Marriott, this was the hotel, to turn over video accuses identity in Michael Irvin's $100 million defamation lawsuit. I'm so glad that he's leveling this lawsuit. I am so glad that he has filed a defamation lawsuit. Anyways, Michael Irvin remains in the dark. Michael Irvin himself, the person that got accused of whatever he's getting accused of, remains in the dark about exactly why he was pulled off the air from Super Bowl coverage for the NFL Network and ESPN last week. But a judge in the former wide receiver's $100 million defamation lawsuit in the matter has ordered the Marriott hotel chain to turn over video recordings and other details in hopes of shedding some light on the allegations. Irvin was sent home from the site of Super Bowl, whatever this is. I get lost on the Roman numerals, but whatever. Following a complaint lodged with the Renaissance Phoenix downtown. Irvin maintains that on February 5th, he had a brief and amicable conversation with a woman in a hotel lobby, shook her hand, and then went to his room alone. The woman, who has since been revealed to be an employee of the hotel, complained to management about her interaction with the Hall of Famer. Hotel security then woke Irvin in his room, his lawsuit claims. They escorted him from the property without any explanation or questions and then notified the NFL of the situation. After being excluded from the remainder of Super Bowl week coverage by the NFL Network, so not only was he taken from the coverage of the game, but the week's coverage. Y'all know how football coverage is all lead up to it, you know, and the analysis of the teams and, you know, which quarterback and the all of that is Super Bowl week. All of that is the days leading up and the hours leading up to the actual game is all coverage. NFL Network, ESPN is as full of that coverage. So for him to be pulled off of all of that coverage is horrific. Okay. Irvin filed a 9-figure lawsuit against the parent company of the hotel, as well as the woman who he claims he never seen before and has not seen since the incident. Irvin's lawsuit accuses the two parties of defamation, as well as wrongful interference in a business relationship. The 56-year-old Cowboys icon claims he suffered damage to his reputation and lost out on added income from personal appearances that had to be scrapped as a result of his removal from the airwaves. So y'all just in that man's pocket all the way around. Irvin argues he is being railroaded as a target of cancel culture. The 3-time Super Bowl champ maintains that the interaction with the woman identified in the lawsuit as Jane Doe was in no way physical beyond a handshake, though he admits that he doesn't remember exactly what was said as he had been out drinking. Video recordings from the lobby apparently captured the meeting, but Irvin said that they were not shown to him. He also has not been told what he supposedly said to the woman. Local police officials have said no official criminal complaints against Irvin were ever filed. Representatives for Irvin attempted to speak with the hotel directly about the allegations and provide witnesses to resolve the matter, but these efforts were rebuffed by the Renaissance. Marriott has this week banned Irvin from all its properties, according to the lawsuit. The Collin County judge in Texas in the case has ordered Marriott to submit all video recordings, written reports, and witness statements regarding the incident. They must also provide the name and contact information of the female employee, as well as any employers or managers who contacted the league about the episode, and even the names of the league employees who received the original complaint. The evidence that has already come to light seems to back up Irvin's version of events. According to the Dallas Morning News, 3 witnesses have said they saw the encounter and have even provided photos and videos pinpointing when Irvin's conversation with the woman happened. Bryn Davis, Joe Manuel, and Phil Watkins were in the Renaissance bar when they saw Irvin in the lobby with former Cowboys player Michael Brooks. The business associates say the 2 ex-players were speaking with some fans. After offering to buy Irvin a drink, which he declined, the 4 men chatted. The men asked for a group photo. Irvin requested that they all go outside to do so. These photos were time-stamped as having been taken at 11:08 p.m. Upon re-entering the lobby, David says he saw a female employee of the hotel approach Irvin as he walked towards the elevator and start a conversation. The encounter, he says, appeared completely normal and involved no physical contact beyond their parting handshake. It was very distinct, Davis told the DMN. I remember where his hands were because I remember thinking he was in good shape for an almost 60-year-old guy. He leaned over, shook her hand, and I'm telling you right now, that conversation was about 30 seconds. If it was a minute, I would be shocked. I think 30 seconds, just a normal back and forth. Michael walked towards the elevator. She goes back into the restaurant, and everything is normal as it could possibly be. And that's it. Watkins corroborates that account. It was a positive, friendly conversation. The Australian told TMZ they had a brief interaction. It was maybe 30, 40 seconds. He kept his distance at all times, stood about a meter away from her. They ended with a handshake. He literally turned around and went back to the lift. Watkins says he neither saw nor heard anything that led him to believe something inappropriate had taken place. There was a little bit of laughter, obviously a jovial conversation, he explained. Nothing untoward for me to actually take notice of what was going on. She turned around after the conversation. She went back into the bar area or around the bar area, and everyone continued their evening. Davis said it was only later in the week when the woman's complaint was first reported that he realized he and his friends had actually witnessed the event that was making headlines. I felt sick when I saw it. Now, why would he say that? He feels sick because it could have been him, right? Because it's the first time I was ever firsthand experience where something like that happened that was just fabricated. It was a totally normal conversation. Davis even pointed out that none of the men are Cowboys fans and would have no reason to defend him if he were in the wrong. I'll say this, man, he continued, I'm from Philly. I grew up and Michael was our enemy, but he's a super, super, super nice guy. And that's why I felt like I needed to say something, only because he's a good dude. And to have that happen and have your livelihood and career taken is crazy. It's not fair. So it was worth coming out and saying something. Marriott has been given a deadline of February 20th to comply with the judge's order to submit materials in the case. Now I'm going to come back to you guys. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. Now that was a little long. But I needed to read the entire article to you. This actually, listen, The incident in question, first of all, let's recap. The incident in question is not even a questionable incident. This isn't a he said, she said because they went back to the room together. This isn't a he said, she said because they went to a secluded area. Nobody could really see them or hear them, or they don't know what went on, or they went behind somewhere, or they went off together alone, or nothing like that, wherein it would have to be a her word against his word type of situation. Thank you, Pharaoh said we need an athlete defamation movement. All the hyena do is take advantage of who they are, sports-wise and appearance-wise. Exactly. They are in a public space. He in a public space. You don't get no more. Listen. This man has done everything in this situation to avoid what actually happened. He is a public figure. Michael Irvin been in the limelight since he was playing in the NFL. Okay? As a wide receiver. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame. He became a sportscaster for the NFL Network and for ESPN covering NFL games. This is how this man has been making his living for years now, after he been retired playing football. Michael Irvin has been in the limelight for many, many years now. So when he goes somewhere, people are going to know who he is, especially if you ever been an NFL fan or you ever been a Cowboys fan. Then you know who Michael Irvin is. And even if you were not a fan of his when he was playing, you see him on the NFL Network. You see him on ESPN covering games. NFL Game Day and all of that. So he's a recognizable celebrity. People are going to want autographs. People are going to want pictures. People are going to want to talk to him. People are going to want to interact with him. Period, point blank. Whether these people are fans, whether these people are his colleagues, whether these people are business people, whoever they are, people are going to want to talk and interact with him. And he should be able to do that interaction, especially if he's taking a precaution to not have these gray area, questionable interactions with people, especially women, so that he can avoid these types of allegations and accusations leveled against him for no reason. So this was not even a situation where it was gray area or it could be doubtful or whatever. The people who were there witnessed it. They recall looking and saying, okay, he stood a little distance away from her. So he wasn't all up on her. He wasn't all touchy-feely. He wasn't all grabby. He was just talking at a distance. Why is he standing at a distance? So that it can't be misconstrued that he touching on her. So that it can't be misunderstood or misrepresented that he was grabbing her or touching her or doing anything to her that was inappropriate. After they brief conversation, you shake hands like he would do with anybody else, whether that man or woman. He would have shook a man's hand. And then she stopped him to have a conversation. He didn't stop her to have a conversation. She went to him for the conversation. He was headed to his room. After you shake hands, he went to his room by himself. only to be waking up in the middle of the night, escorted out of the Marriott like he had done something to her, like he was some type of criminal or some type of, predator. Meanwhile, this chick, her ID is protected. We don't even know this chick name. Thank you, Antonio. So I'm sure there is a fraternization clause with Marriott, which doesn't bode well for their hyena employee. Playmaker needs to consider a suit against NFL Network and ESPN as well. Win it and not go back. Oh, that's who the suit is for. The suit is for NFL Network, it's for ESPN, and it's for her. It might even be, if I recall right, for the hotel. That's $100 million lawsuit, and somebody gonna pay up. Thank you, Antonio. Thank you, Dusty. Said the Chicago, Mississippi accent done came out. Crimson is living. Y'all know a bunch of Chicago people is from down south. This is why you can't do that. Believe all women. All of that, that's foolishness right there. You can't believe none of them. They making it to where you can't believe any of them. Her identity is being protected as if she's a victim of something. As if she, somebody done did something to her. This is a woman that worked in a hotel. You are coming across so many hundreds of people every day. Every day you work, you are coming across hundreds of people. Many of these people you see once, you never see them again. And I am certain in those thousands of interactions that she has had, no matter what type of staff she is, that somebody done said something untoward to her or distasteful, even if it was not sexual. You done had a mad customer. You done had a drunk customer. You done had a upset customer. You done had a sexual customer. You done had an inappropriate customer. If you are in a hotel and you are at that front desk or you have to answer to customers' needs, then you have met all kinds of people and you have had all kinds of interactions with them people. Did you call them people's employers to tell them employers about how they acted with you in that hotel? Or did you deal with it in your capacity as staff in the hotel? Which one did you do? Thank you, Professor. And women wonder why men use apps to holler at them anymore. And the sisterhood is complicit because their silence is compliance. Exactly. And thank you, Miss 39 Dina. So she get to act like she's some type of victim whose identity and names needs to be. We don't even know. Get this part. We don't even know exactly what the accusation is. We don't even know what the accusation is. We don't even know what he supposedly did or said to her. We don't even know that. She didn't even so much as say that. She didn't even so much. There's no article that I have come across that explicitly states Michael Irvin said such and such and such and such to me. And that was inappropriate for him to do. He invited me to his room and then he said some explicit stuff to me. And I was uncomfortable. She ain't even saying that. We don't know what he did. That's the kicker box. We don't know what he did. No idea. Thank you, John. Said it's going to be called the Irvin End soon enough. Exactly. I hope he win all of it. Thank you, Stardust. I had a similar experience before. It didn't lead to anything. A palm-colored teenage girl that because I knew her family, backed into me, posterior all on me. Right. Thank you again, Dusty said he don't even know. Yeah, he doesn't even know. He has no idea what he's being accused of or what he supposedly did or said to her. That's how you know it's a lie, because she couldn't even come up with a plausible lie to tell. Yet she used her gynocentric privilege, her hyena privilege in this society to try to get a quick come up off Michael Irvin's name by telling somebody. She had to tell one of her higher ups or somebody, oh, he made me feel uncomfortable. She said something stupid enough where, according to policy, now they got to act on it. Because they can't just ignore it, because then she'll be able to say, oh, well, I complained about it and, my higher-ups ignored it and they just ignored the woman because he's a powerful man. So they just ignored the woman. She can't say nothing about these powerful men. Knock it off. Thank you, Stardust. I immediately threw my hands up in the air and said, y'all see my hands? I wasn't having it. I don't mess with underage girls. No, exactly. Now, see, if the Marriott don't say nothing, she gets to come out. They just ignored because Michael Irvin's a star and I'm not. And so therefore nothing that I say didn't mean anything. Thank you, Shifty. Say, yep, these American women need Sharia law, period, point blank. Precisely. They don't think that's what they need, but they do. Complete separation of the genders. I got more to say on this. However, if you or your family and friends are in the Atlanta metropolitan area and you have children with a birthday coming up, I'm sure that you will enjoy and appreciate this next word from our new sponsor. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Emotionless birthday parties. Boring birthday parties. Boring game trucks. Loveless birthday parties. Average game truck parties are a virus. But gamer versus gamer is the cure.
Gamer versus gamer. We look forward to treating your child like the most important kid in the world on their birthday.
You guys definitely want to go and check out our new sponsor, Gamer versus Gamer. It is a wonderful service that provides birthday service for your child. Many times we don't think that children need a intricate or an extravagant birthday party just because they're children. But we beg to differ, because that's actually when those wonderful memories get created. Your child will thank you so much. And one of the things that this company, Gamer versus Gamer, concentrates on is fatherhood component. And many times it's always up to the mom or the dad, or leave it up to the mother to plan a child's birthday party, just because it can get really tedious and it can get sort of in depth. And a lot of times dads don't have the time to do that, or they don't think that they have the time to do that. But Gamer versus Gamer is actually here to alleviate all of that. So wonderful fathers can get that recognition as well. No need to always hand it over to the mom. The most that the father is going to have to do is give Gamer versus Gamer a call, and they literally do the rest. So they show up with this awesome 30-foot trailer where you can have the party. They do the red carpet or whatever theme that you want to have for your child. It's an extremely wonderful, extraordinary, and an elite service that your child receives with all of the perks, including catering of the food. And one of the most wonderful things is that you don't have to do any cleanup. Gamer versus Gamer literally takes care of everything from point A to point Z. And the only thing that you have to worry about is how good of a time that you and your family and your child is going to have at their most favorite birthday party in the world. So if you or your friends and family live in the Atlanta area, all you got to do is hit the link at the top of the chat. Gamer versus Gamer takes you right to the website so that you can see all of the wonderful things that they offer. And then you're able to speak with them and really get that show on the road. Once again, this is an elite service. So everything that you get, that you pay for, is going to be top tier and top notch. So once again, hit that link at the top of the chat, Gamer versus Gamer, and give your child the best birthday and love letter that they're ever going to receive. Okay? All right. So we're going to come back. Thank you, Sivan said they're trying to distract us from the wrath messages and sip and paint fiascos. And thank you so much. So let's get back to cooking this chick. So we don't even know what he supposedly is accused of doing. Without this information, his pockets was dug all into. No more coverage for the Super Bowl week, Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying, itself, all of the shows that lead up to it, all of that coverage that leads up to it. Personal events that he had been invited to be seen or whatever had to be put off the table. Why? Because these these mysterious allegations are being leveled against him, and now nobody wants to be associated with the predatory men. Nobody wants to be associated with the predator, with the sick, twisted black man that goes around predating on innocent women, even in public. You see where this is going? You see what I'm saying? It is that cancel culture foolishness. This actually goes back to what I have been saying on the panel. For those of you, put a 1 in the chat if you watched me on Anton Daniels' panel. And that was actually one of the things that was the main thing that we were talking about. Allegations against men, and then you just say whatever, and then the men, they immediately suffer. No ifs, ands, or buts. Just like those Ohio State football players were immediately removed from the team, immediately suspended. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't be part of anything. Their whole reputation in the garbage. Now they got to defend themselves from different allegations of this woman that cried grape on them. 3 years. 3 years these men have to fight for their innocence. Finally, they were able to be they were acquitted of all the charges. But they can't get their life back. They got acquitted, but the problem is that is going to follow them. That's going to follow them men. That reputation, they're not going to remember. They're not going to be remembered for their football. They're not going to be remembered for none of that. They're now going to be remembered as the men that got accused of grape and then they got acquitted. That's their legacy now. Ruin whatever chances they may have had to get drafted in the NFL and all of that type of stuff and go on to have their life and all of that. All of that out the window. because some chick didn't like the setup, or she regretted it, or she didn't want to be seen as a slut, or whatever the case may have been. Now you come behind it and you try to ruin Michael Irvin's name, his reputation. This man has built his football career since college, came into the NFL, did his thing in the NFL to such an extent that he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Went on to continue to be around the game that he loved by, being a sports commentator and stuff like that. He still get to be around it, even though he, was no longer playing. He was retired. Thank you, D. Said 3 years is a long time in college football. You can never get back. You're never going to get it back. Thank you, Siobhan. Said stop believing these 304s innocent, so proven guilty. And even then, I'm giving a side eye. Yeah, you got to. And thank you, TH. Thank you so much. Them young men are not going to get that back. And I'm hoping that Michael Irvin wins his defamation suit, because that's exactly the type of suit that he should have filed. Defamation. You defame his character, you assassinate his character, you attempt to ruin his name and ruin his reputation. And at the same time, what this does is this makes everybody back up away from him and not want nothing to do with him and all of this other type of stuff. So now he can't make his money. He can't make his money with nobody because the Marriott put him out. NFL backed up off of him because now these companies don't want to be liable. Well, now you're about to be liable again. You're about to be liable for real. You're about to be liable for real. Because one of the big things that we talked about on Anton's panel was whether or not these women need to be punished for lying. And that's why I said emphatically yes. Yes. Why are we protecting her? She a liar. Why are we protecting her? We protected her because of what? Because just believing her, what that points out or what that reiterates is that men are sexual predators by nature, and especially black men. Especially black men. Thank you for reminding me about the likes, because bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button. Bam, bam. You gotta because we got 390 awesome people that hit the like button. Let's see if we can get the next 500 or 600 people to hit the like button as well, so we can make our way through the algorithm and everybody can be made aware that we having an awesome show over here. So black men are predators by nature. This feeds into that narrative. And the network, in their knee-jerk reaction, without any real evidence, without anything solid, were able to pull him from his job, remove him from the premises because he's some type of monster. What I see this is too. I'm gonna tell y'all what I see this as well. This is a continuation of what's been happening to black men since the summer of last year, and that real big uptick. It's not like it hadn't been happening before, but y'all remember the whole thing with Kyrie, and then trying to cancel him, and then trying to cancel all these black men, trying to cancel Ye, trying to cancel all these black men, all of these famous, successful black men. For one reason or another, the media was coming after them one after the other. Thank you, Phineas. I had a Marine brother who was 15 years in. He got kicked out over a false allegation. Decorated Marine with flawless record. They found out it was false. No reinstatement. Now he is gone by his own hand. Wow, I'm so sorry to hear that. Such a sad thing. Tried to cancel these brothers for little or nothing, for little thing or for nothing at all. Removing their livelihood, trying to strip them down to nothing, tarnishing their reputations and their legacies for no reason. For no reason. Wanted to keep quiet. Speaking on that, wanted to keep quiet. Who is it? Adidas. Been taking L's. And they ain't been talking about them L's that Adidas was taking. Because wasn't it Adidas that Kanye had the contract with for Yeezys? Wasn't that Adidas? Wasn't that Adidas? They lost billions of dollars trying to make sure that he was no longer classified as a billionaire. They lost billions of dollars. Because ain't nobody buying Yeezys from y'all repackaged. That's like buying bootlegs. That's like buying Jordans from up out of from a swap meet or something. Ain't nobody buying them. The jump man ain't jumping. Ain't nobody coming to Adidas about no knockoff Yeezys. They was selling because they were Yeezys. Because they ugly. They was only selling because Kanye's name was attached to it. And people like Kanye. Then turned around and took another L on the Ivy. Beyonce's little line. Cause that stuff is ugly too. Beyonce really need to stop with these little lines she be coming out. Remember when she came out the house of Darion and that didn't really go nowhere too tough? So Adidas shot themselves in the foot trying to make sure a black man went down. I bet you they trying to scramble on that bottom line now. Somebody contact Kanye. Somebody contact Kanye. Don't let it out to the news. Somebody call him. Who got Kanye number? Do you got Kanye number? You told me to delete his number. Well, find it. Find it again. Somebody got his number. Call Kanye. Because we cannot sell these knockoff Yeezys. Call Kanye. Call him. Folks thought Kanye was crazy and he was like, all right, Adidas, we'll see how you do after that. Adidas gonna make their money. Will they now? This feeds the narrative that black men are bottom feeders. No matter how high they climb, no matter what they accomplish, and no matter what they are about as men. This is what this is saying. Thank you, Professor Carl. Said 2 years ago, while doing Uber, had 2 separate events of white women making false allegations. Turns out that it was a plot they used on social media to target black men. Uber issued a public statement acknowledging it. Wow. Wow. But this is what the men are going through. These are the things that men are going through. And this is why men are just checking out of the society. This is why they're talking about passport bros. This is why the men are just saying MGTOW. This is why the men are just saying, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not coming into the social realm to do nothing with y'all. To do nothing with y'all. Men are checking out. And this is why lying on men needs to have real consequences attached to them. Not this stupid stuff pat on the hand. No, we need to start in a jail time and fines. Jail time and fines for lying. Because you're getting real free with all that lying that y'all doing. You're getting real comfortable with the lies because you know that at some point, whether you lying or not, you're going to be protected in some way, shape, or form. This chick's name, her face, and her allegations are not even publicly known. Meanwhile, Michael Irvin is over here fighting for his professional life and fighting for his reputation as a man. Against what is tantamount to an unknown assailant against him. And it's this type of stuff that women are making sure that men have zero recourse to protect themselves from it. No recourse. Y'all are making sure that men don't have no protection at all. Not legally, not culturally, not biologically. Because what else was he supposed to do? He stood at a distance. He didn't touch you. He wasn't all on you. From all accounts, he was chilling with the guys. He was with the guys. To avoid this foolishness. Thank you again, Stardust. It's email Udoka all over again. Yeah. To avoid this foolishness, he was hanging with the men. You sought him out because you want attention. You wanted Michael Irvin's undivided attention. Because you want some D. You was hoping that he felt on you. You was hoping he was feeling you. And you got mad because he kept it real straight with you. He kept it real professionally, casual, friendly with you. He didn't invite you to his room. You know what I'm saying? He ain't want no head from you. You understand that? Because you talk too much and you're going to say something stupid. Lo and behold, you did it anyway. Almost should have made you get on your knees if he was going to have to fight for it. He got to fight through allegations and didn't even get nothing from you out of it. How about them apples? So he got to get it if he accepts you, and he got to get it if he rejects you. Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me. He got to be in trouble whether he get at you or not. Thank you, Nehemia said, you the first woman ever suggesting a life sentence against lying on us black men. Much love. Thank you so much. This is why the men don't want to be bothered with you. You wonder, why they don't approach us? Because they can't. Because they can't. And nobody is going to try to be figuring out which one of you hyenas is going to lie and which one of you not. Nobody got time to figure that out. Nobody got time to figure that out. You won't like the problem solving that men come up with because you're a problem. Women in this society, too high of a threat. Too high of a threat. Too high of a threat. Too much trouble. Too much toll. Too much time. You make the cost high for even a casual, fleeting interaction with you. And other women are stupid if they back you. Other women would be idiots, certifiable dummies to back the lies. Because that only hurts women in the long run. Because the men don't trust none of you. And who can blame them? Who can blame them? When every interaction has the potential to end his life as he know it. Thank you again, Kinshasa said, preach. Thank you so much. No way men want to interact with you in no capacity, because there is no capacity that protects them. He could be a cashier just ringing you up. That's his job all day, every day. Here you come with some kind of allegations. He done said something to you as he bagged your high sweatshop eggs that you pay. I don't know why they charging y'all so much for them sweatshop eggs. Y'all, I still be paying like $4-5 for my organic eggs. They organic. I don't know what y'all paying for them little sweatshop eggs. Them chickens be sweating laying them eggs. They charging y'all up the wazoo for them eggs. I don't know what's going on. But you know, he done proposition you when he handed you the egg. Thank you, Black Goku Zero. So this is why there's an African proverb that says you can raise a nation no higher than the moral compass of its women. Thank you so much. And thank you again, Sivan said this is also a flagrant violation of the Sixth Amendment Confrontation Clause, which is meant to guarantee knowing facing your accuser and charges. Thank you. So y'all paying an arm and a leg for them sweatshop eggs. And you really think that the society can stand underneath this kind of foolishness where the men can't even operate in society normally? Y'all have made the environment so toxic for men that they cannot even move around in society normally. And no precaution that he take against this kind of stuff is actually gonna save him. So what do you think is gonna happen to society when men can't operate in it? When you restrict through proxy and through this type of foolishness, you restrict men's mobility, you restrict their profession, you restrict their ability to gain wealth, you restrict their ability to be men in the society and move normally in the society. What do you think happens to society when men can't operate in it anymore? What do you think happens to a society when men can no longer interact or move in it anymore? Thank you, Nia Moon said, a black female coworker accused me of making an unwelcome advance towards her via instant message several years ago. I stated I would request a corporate investigation if this wasn't forward and the issue was deemed. But I'm glad it was dropped. What do you think happens to a society when men can no longer operate at a normal level? Society will fall. It's going to fall under the weight of women's foolishness. It's going to fall under the weight of women's foolishness. Because you always looking for some type of come up. You always looking for, she was hoping that he would get scared and just give her some money to make it go away. But that don't do nothing but make him seem guilty. That's like taking a plea deal or something. I'm not giving you anything. Bring forth your evidence if what you say is true. We'll wait. We'll take this to a court of law. Bring forth your evidence. Prove. Because you accusing me. So the burden of proof is actually on the accuser, not the accused. The burden of proof is on her, not him. And that's the other thing that gets flipped around. When a woman accuses a man of something like this, somehow the burden of proof becomes on him. You can't even prove a negative, no way. You can't prove a negative. You can't prove that you didn't do something. They have to prove that you did. Thank you, Miss Monique said, this has been a consistent discussion in my home because we are raising young boys in this insanity. I'm so scared for my baby. I know you are, sweetheart, and I'm praying for you and your family because this is a very dangerous society for men now. The burden of proof is on the accuser. Supposed to be anyway. If I say such and such stole some money from me, I gotta prove that he stole some money from me or she stole some money from me. I gotta prove that. I gotta say, well, they was over there and my money was right here and then it wasn't missing until they came into the room and then nobody was in the room with them and then they came out and then when I went back in, the money was missing and I got a camera that say that and then I got the video that say, I gotta prove that. I can't just say, oh, they stole money from me and then somebody make them give me my money. That's not how the legal system is supposed to work. So it's too much trouble. It's too much time. It's too much wrapping this up, but I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to talk about this with everybody because it was important that we talk about it. Because this type of stuff is going to happen more, and I'm hoping that men, particularly black men, start filing suits. You don't have to be rich. It don't got to be, just start filing the suits. File a suit. File a suit. Nope, she lying. File a suit. I'm going to sue you. We going to both be in court. We going to be in court for real. I'm going to pull your bluff. Prove I did something to you. Prove I said something to you that was inappropriate. Prove my inappropriate action and behavior and words. Do it. Especially when you know you ain't did nothing. Sue. Civil suit, criminal suit, whatever. Because they taking time out of their day to lie on you and get you in trouble. So you take time out of your day to call they bluff on it. Thank you, paid players are in demand. Said Deuteronomy 19:16-21. The penalty for being a malicious witness, making a false allegation was potentially death. It was based on what you accused falsely the person of initially. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, it's a bearing of false witness. Thank you, G Money. Said they're not going to quit until corporations stop hiring women because of the liability. Yeah, be separated. Separate you from the men. Since the men are all predatory and and everything they do is creepy and everything that they do is threatening to you as a woman and all that type of stuff, they just separate you. You can't go to school with them and you can't work with them. You can't go to school with them and you can't work with them. Women over there, men over there. That ought to keep you safe, since they all predatory anyway, right? Right? No more going to the gym and all of the men are gawking and they're making you feel creepy. No. We have a women's gym and you can get the same workout with the same equipment that's in the men's gym. We gonna have separate but equal around here. We gonna segregate you. Thank you again, Stardust. So that's one of the 10 commandments. We need holy brick showers back. You go over there and you be with the women and the men go be with the men and nobody can complain that they being harassed and that they being groped on and graped on and all this other kind of stuff. No more nightlife. We're not going to clubs. We're not going to bars. Not doing none of that. You want to go to a club and a bar? It's a women's bar over there, men's bar over there. So that the men, these dirty old men, these dirty, filthy men won't bother you anymore. Correct? Thank you, Maverick. So what are they going to do about the Transformers? You are what you were born. Thank you, TH. So I had a problem with a few female coworkers claiming harassment. I requested a transfer. They were the ones flirted with me first. Exactly. Because you are destroying men's ability to be normal and move like a normal citizen in the society. That is what's being destroyed. Individual men are being destroyed, but manhood and like men moving around, that's actually come under fire. You can't do that. Men gotta tiptoe literally around you. Can't say hello, can't be friendly, can't be cordial, can't nothing at all. See you coming, they gotta go the other way. I won't even walk down the hallway with you. Nope. You say I was staring at you, say I touched you. No. Thank you again, Pharaoh. So can you make this a series, because there's more false cases out there now, like someone trying to bring up another great case with Tyson. Yeah, they're trying to do it with Mike Tyson again. That man ain't been bothering nobody. Then you wonder why the men avoid you completely, just avoid you. Just I don't want to hold the door. I'm not walking in with you. You'll never be able to say I did nothing, said nothing to you, because I wasn't even there. Now I'm getting in the elevator with you. I don't care if it is a camera. You want to get it? No, don't hold the door. Matter of fact. Yeah, that's all Mike want to do. Mike want to grow his weed. He want to do his hot box podcast. And he want to raise his pigeons and stuff. Leave that man alone. He just did kind of come back to boxing a little bit. You know, you see a few videos of him. Mike still got them hands too. Mike got them hands. What is Mike? Like 55? What is Mike? Mike about 55, 56, ain't he? Mike got them hands. Not want to be dealing with Mike Tyson with them hands. He still got them hands. He fast. Not want to deal with Mike Tyson. Leave Mike Tyson alone. Leave Mike Tyson alone. You will get dealt with. Leave him alone. He want to raise pigeons. He want to smoke his weed and stuff. And he want to sit around and do his little podcast. Leave Mike Tyson alone. Thank you, Kevin's Corner, said Passport Bros. We up. Thank you, old school. Thank you so much, y'all. If it was 30 years ago that he did something to you, you should have came out with the other one that accused him. Leave him alone. Because I like Mike Tyson. I like Mike. Mike has done he's had a really interesting journey spiritually and stuff like that. Leave Mike alone. Thank you again, G Money. Said a lot of them are going to be cold and musty when the tradesmen start checking out. Son husbands and panda bears don't get their hands dirty. Precisely. Leave Mike alone. Mike got his stuff going on. Leave him alone. I will defend Mike. Leave Mike Tyson alone. That is Iron Mike. He done paid his dues. Iron Mike had a hard life. He went through a lot. He got his fame. It got taken away and stuff like that. Leave Mike alone. He has had to deal with the passing of his little baby and stuff like that. Leave Mike alone. Mike has earned the right to be left alone. Leave Mike Tyson alone. I'm sorry, I keep repeating it because I like Mike. I like this. I've always liked Mike. Yeah, 39 Dina. I'm gonna defend Mike. Just leave Mike Tyson where he at. Mike Tyson is chilling. Stop trying to come for him. I don't like when people, I don't even know that man. I don't like when people come for him, no. I really don't like when people come for him. Because he's not doing nothing to nobody. And you really want to leave him chilling because when he was out there being a savage, y'all was scared. When he was out there being a savage, you was scared of him. Mike had took his shahada and said, leave Mike alone. Leave that brother alone. Anyway. Trying to come for Chris Brown again. Leave him alone. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah, y'all knock that off. Leave these brothers alone. These brothers is not doing nothing to y'all. These brothers is living their life. They, they in their later years and stuff like that. These men is in their 50s and all of that. Leave these men alone. They done live more than half their life. They trying to live it quietly and peacefully without y'all breathing down their neck. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I thank everybody for y'all generous contributions today. Let me go ahead and see, did we get any cash apps? I like to shout out the cash apps. I'm mad I don't get notifications, but thank you. It's Semiel. I don't want to mess your name up, but thank you so much for your contribution, and thank you, Wallace, for your contribution as well. And thank you, Mr. Gibbs, for your contribution as well. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Before we go out, go ahead and get your copy of my new book, Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery, which is on sale now. All you got to do is hit the link in the description box, crimsoncure.com. And if you want the digital copy instead, there's a link to the Amazon as well. So once again, thank everyone for coming through. Hit the like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. All right, because we are headed to 100,000 subscribers. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I drop content, and I drop content every single day. With that being said, bye-bye, Crimsonites.